It's the physical body. It's your voice.
My name is Bruce Coley. I live on Christopher Street. I'm writing a book on LGBT history, and there's nothing more important in LGBT history than that place called the Stonewall Inn. 1969, the year of the Woodstock Festival and the men landing on the moon, the famous Stonewall Uprising, captured in a 2010 film featuring our two next guests, Danny Garvin and Martin Boyce, Stonewall veterans.
Excuse me if I get a little windy. I wrote a letter to Obama when he came into office this term. And I wrote, Dear President Obama, Martin Luther King Jr. once said, our lives begin to end the days we become silent about what matters. That statement kept going through my head as I listened to your inauguration speech. It was a moment that was so unsurreal. I never thought I would hear these words in my life from a president. We the people declare today that the most evident of truths, that all of us are created equal, is the star that guides us still, just as it guided our forebears, Trisnetka Falls, Selima, and Stonewall. My Facebook page got hit like crazy. Family and friends kept calling me up on the phone to ask if I heard it. At first, I couldn't believe my ears. I thought you were talking about Stonewall, Mississippi. I mean, after all, it was Martin Luther King Day. And then it dawned on me that you were talking about Stonewall, my Stonewall Inn. My eyes filled up when I thought back to the night of the Stonewall riots, when I was a 20-year-old gay kid at the bar that night, at the raid. You see, Mr. President, I was there for the first 2 nights of the riots. It was like a war zone. I saw garbage cans burning in the streets, bricks being thrown in the air, young, silly gay kids like myself being beaten by the police, and the tactical police force until we bled. All of this violence because we wanted to dance alone and be unseen from a society that did not want us. I was so unaware at the time that I was also being denied my rights as an American. But I was also being denied my rights, the basic human right. It's kind of funny when you think back about it. My grandfather came to America as an Irish immigrant. He got a job as a laborer assembling the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor. The same one with the mounted plaque that reads, "Give me you're tired, you're poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free. I yearn to be free, Mr. President." As a gay man back in 1969, I could not serve my country openly in the military. I could not get a license to practice law or be a hairstylist. If I was entrapped into doing something lewd, as determined by the authorities at the time, I was damned by almost all religions. The American Psychiatric Association told me I was mentally ill. I was not allowed to get married. I had to keep my love for another man hidden. I could not adopt children. I was not allowed to receive a legal drink in a bar in New York City without the risk of losing their license for serving a sexual deviant. It was a life that was bleak and filled with one word, no. And to top that off, on that night in June 1969, they were now going to tell me I couldn't dance, not even in the back of a dark, dirty bar. You made me proud, sir, when you mentioned that significant part of my life. But the battle is not over. We still have a big fight on our hands. I have still not gotten to dance that dance that I had started 44 years ago, now 45. The big, joyous, I'm a completely free gay American dance. I so badly want to dance that dance before I meet my maker and not have to spend my life listening to the music. Thank you for making the dance floor a little bit more accessible, Mr. President, and starting to play the music. Sincerely yours, Danny Garvin, Stonewall vet. And now the icing on the cake, Obama wrote me back. Dear Daniel, thank you for your powerful letter that you sent this spring. I read it with interest. At Stonewall, people joined together and declared they had seen enough injustice. While being beaten down, they stood up and challenged not only how the world saw them, but also how they saw themselves. History shows that once that spirit takes hold, little can stand in the way. So the riots gave way to protests, the protests gave way to a movement, and the movement gave way to a transformation that continues today. You're right that the dance is unfinished, but as long as I hold this office, I will keep fighting to open the floor for everyone. Sincerely, Barack Obama. And now on Monday, Martin and I are invited to the White House.
Well, I'm not going to say too much, except that the last time I was on a pier was about 30 years ago, and the action was very different. But anyway, the only thing I'll say about Stonewall right now is that, to me, Stonewall's a verb. It's always evolving. You're part of it. We all want the action. We all fought for our rights. We're all Stonewall veterans. So, comrades, I salute you.